Dead America, the Second Month, The Texas Panhandle, Part 2. Written by Derek Slaton. Narrated by Aaron Smith. Chapter 1. Day 0 plus 43. Rebuild Day 13. The moans coming from the trailer park neighborhood continued to grow in intensity as an ever-growing mob of flesh-eating ghouls shambled towards Jackie. The cacophony of noise fell on deaf ears as the young punk singer stared down at her fallen comrade, Chet. The wounds on the side of his head oozed blood from where the vicious bikers had caved it in with their boots mere moments before. Chet, she stammered, voice cracking. The shock was all-consuming for her, rendering her unable to move or really comprehend the violence she'd just witnessed. She didn't know the men well, but having two of them killed right in front of her, including a brutal curb-stomping, was more than she could handle. The moans from the zombies continued to grow as they shambled towards her, no more than 40 yards away from her now. As she fidgeted with her fingers, they grazed the stump where her pinky used to be. She gasped at the sharp pain, and this snapped her back into reality and out of her shock-induced trance-like state. She broke her stare away from Chet and looked over towards the zombies that were slowly coming her way. They were spread out across a 10-yard line, with several rows of them emerging from the sides of the trailers. She looked past them at a couple of piles of ghouls feasting on the still somewhat fresh corpses of Zane and the biker. Jackie looked down at Chet, her gut telling her not to leave him behind. Reality check kicked in, however, as another wave of moans hit her ears. There was no way she'd be able to drag him the half-mile or so to the horses, let alone get him up onto one of them. She gasped, shaking her head. I'm sorry, Chet. There's nothing I can do. She clamped her jaw shut, quivering as she turned away from him, pulling herself together enough to tear back towards the horses. It was a long run, but she was more and more at ease as the moans faded away. She didn't look back, knowing she didn't want to see what the mob was doing to the sheriff. She didn't need any more horrific imagery haunting her. When she reached the horses, they were agitated due to the moaning in the distance. She tried to undo Chet's horse, but he wasn't having any of it, immediately bucking and ripping the reins from her hand and running to freedom. Or death, whichever found.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?